Okay, why are we complicating everything and doing multiple data timeframes? Well, it's because we can do it. So for our profit targets, the reason we're not getting everything that we can out of a trade is because we're using ATR or our profit target settings on a default 24/7 basis. But if we used it on a basis for the time period that we're trading, so if you're trading a 5-minute chart, you could look at a time period of 5 minutes between 8:30 and 8:35 and get a totally different setting. So instead of default 24/7. All right, 1075, 1075, 3750, 3750. So those are the differences between your ranges. So you could maximize this, draw a line on your chart, $10.75. And see if we could get up to the 3750 as a target to trade to. So when if we see that the range has gotten up to 3750, that would be our overbought or oversold level. We would be expecting to see the range turn around. So like right there. Case in point, and then it pulls back, and if you got another range expansion, see it tried to get back up to the level. So we can do this dynamically on each trading session and customize it for these time periods that we're trading. So when price leaves this level, we can trade to the next step. That's the goal. So this is the exact thing that we're trying to do, is trade this alpha. And if it breaks out and keeps going, then we have a huge range expansion opportunity for the day. Um, and there's another better way to show this instead of having to draw, horizontal lines. I mean, this works. We can see this on the chart as well with the companion indicator set up for the chart. So there's no reason to have this indicator in 3 different places. So I've got this here and I've got this here. So what I want to do is remove the bottom instance of it and remove the top instance of this. And so now I can see on the chart I have the default 24/7 on the bottom, and I have on the top row $37.50. So that's where I want to trade to. If I leave 10.75, I'm going to that next level. But let's put the companion indicator on the chart. which is, I'm sorry, I'm kind of weird the way I set this up, PT3, V3, and we want to change this to 835. So we're going off the last 14 sessions between 8:30 and 8:35. And now we can see the range pretty darn good. I mean, you see how these algos work? And if it expands, if it gets out of the range and runs, that's, what ideally we want to see. But this, it ran right into our resistance. See that? It ran into the level. So what did it do? It pulled back into the mean. So here we hit the level. Are y'all seeing this? Ran up to our level and then returned back to the mean. So we can visualize these ranges on the chart between um, the 24/7 and the higher time, the 14 sessions versus 14 bars, 5 minute. And this is very good also, like I here, this really you can see when the range is expanding outside of your 5 minute range. You can change this range to customize it to a 60 minute range or a 100 minute range or a 1 hour initial balance, the 8:30 to 9:30 in the morning. I like to use that one a lot. But just having the ability to see what the difference between a 14 bar range and a 14 session range is expressed and how to trade it gives us a huge edge. And now that we know where we're going, it's like, getting in the car when you're a kid saying, where am I going? How long is it going to take to get there? And what's going to happen when I get there? But here we can see it. When the range contracts and you got to your resistance, you can pull back. So let's put the other chart up, and I've got this coded up for us to take these breakouts. So if we change our logic to, what did I say the default was? 1125, the new range. We can come in here with Bloodhound, put our level in each morning, and then trade this stuff. Didn't have much. I mean, this is just nothing trading because it's the holiday season. But this is the idea, and you can use your own filters or and the goal again is to take this um, PT2 instead of the PT1 or PT3 on the default 24/7, but you can set your profit target and your risk according to your own metrics, or trade to, trade realizing if you're inside the 1 hour initial balance, it may not be going anywhere except for the reversion, turn around, but wait for the breakout, try to hit a target, and just recognize when you're breaking out of a 5 minute range, when you're breaking out of a 60 minute range, if you're breaking out of a daily range, and knowing that you're going with that range breakout not against it. And this also can be used to fade these levels, especially if the range contracts. Um, Looks like we had a range expansion going back into the range here. So you can set this up to go counter range at your overbought, oversold levels that we get during the trading session. So we'll be able to get the levels set up um, each morning going in, and that way we'll have a heads up of what to expect from a trade session using these different ranges. So you could put this on like a 15-minute candle and change our range to a 8:45, and do the same thing except for on a little bit of a higher time frame that may give you a little bit better, less, you know, whipsaws, less noise, or trade the 30-minute range. Like a lot of the other traders will do a 30-minute or 60-minute. So, but at least we know where we are. Where we are. When are we going to get there? And then we can nest on top of here the higher time frame ranges. So I like to look at a daily range or an 8:30 to 15:15. There's your RTH range. And so you can nest these on top of it and see where you are relative to a higher time frame. So you can see we're inside the range and where you are nested on your minute bar. Um, so trade take a look at these, but the goal is recognizing these opportunities of leaving the range and where you're going. Okay, so we'll put this together going forward in the new year and get the algos ready and start posting our results. Again, I'm going to be using this with the linear regression, momentum, and trend filters, and fading it, knowing when I'm at, overbought, oversold on either the range opportunity or my linear regression bands, or outside of other level that I like to monitor, and try to put together some killer runs next year. And the high-low 2, the cross recross is coming along very well, and I'll be monetizing those trades. So if I catch like one contract position size going from the default 24/7 to the 14 session range period, arbitraging that, I can wait for these crossovers to set up, set my bar size to that 5-minute range. So if my 5-minute range is 3750, I would multiply that by 4 and get 145. So 1 and 144 is 145. So wait for your pullbacks after your trend filter sets up and execute at specific targeted levels to mitigate your risk. So you could enter on a cross of, say, this trigger 4, but execute the trade when it crosses back up the 3. So the execution won't occur until it gets here. So you got to trigger here and then come back in the direction of your trade. And you can pick it up either at the 3, the 2, or the 1, or all 3 of those. And so we're monetizing these pullbacks going back up, and the goal is to create a new dot. And my bar size is set to the full opportunity of that PT 3 range for the 14 session on a 5 minute bar. So if I'm trading a 5 minute chart, I want to take these pullbacks on that bar size, of that wrist size. And like I said, we can even do the five. So wait for a trigger five to get hit, and then execute on the four, the three, the two, and the one, and get out at the new dot. Very cool. So we'll monetize these one trigger, you know, get in here and then take the pullbacks on our high-low 2 chart, or the XRE. I got to start calling it the XRE. Cross recross. It's the same thing as the 2.1 that was previously provided, but I made it just these other modifications. So I thought since we're modifying it to go hand in hand with the system, I should rename it. So that's what I've done. But I'm really looking forward to this. I mean, it's like looking at Russia dolls or whatever you call it, the Chinese box, anything that's nested inside each other. And so you can nest your levels knowing where you are. Um, I like the 8:30 to 9:30 time frame the best. I mean the 8:30 to, yeah, 8:30 to 9:30. Let me put this on here and show you 8:30 to 9:30 with the RTH. The algos seem to just love this, and once you know where you are inside of this, trading directionally becomes really easy. And especially when we've got the market analyzer, I mean, it's pretty obvious that you're not going to be wanting to short that right now. It's going up. All right. Well, thank you so much. I hope this helped seeing it a little bit clearer from yesterday. I've got it set up on the, you know, to take like a one contract, one or two contracts. We can scale it. We can do whatever we want as long as it's still moving. But trade to a target, and then when the bars do, it does pull back. As you can see on the cross recross template, we can trade those pullbacks on the cross recross template. And I will have this set up to auto trade this starting in the new year, and then I'll post my results. And fingers crossed. I mean, one thing about Blackbird is you can't have another chart open. So I can't like be downloading data or fooling around with other charts. I had to learn that the hard way. And that's really hard for me to do, is sit on my hands just watching the algo run and not be able to open other charts and look around. But it is what it is. So maybe I can get this on a cloud instance running my algo so that I can use a sandbox on my local drive to allow me the opportunity to open and, download data and look at other stuff. No sense being hand tied, but right now, if you're in Blackbird running it on a desktop instance or a laptop, you can't be opening charts while Blackbird's running, is what I'm trying to say. So one or the other, either discretionary trade, or if you're algo trading, just use that one algo chart. You can't really be fussing around trying to change or opening other charts. It just will mess it up. All right, guys. Talk to you soon. Happy New Year, and we'll see if we can get this working later.